not that I talk about it much publicly, but I had like a major bullying incident when I was 13, going on 14, which is kind of why I came to Ireland. When I was in St. Francis Preparatory School that I was in Queens, this Italian kid fancied my girlfriend, and we were friends, and then he turned on me. I didn't know why until years later why. But he was in with like the Howard Beach crew, which was all the Italian guys, and one of them was John Gotti's son. He was a year older than me. Now, if people don't know who John Gotti was, he was like the Teflon Don, the head of the Gambino crime family in New York. And at that time, he was literally the king of New York. People might know that from the Fun Loving Criminal song. Anyway, long story short, these guys, they were involved in like intimidating me and threatening me. And one time we were at this basketball game, and like everybody was there. And they made me leave. And there was other kids from my neighborhood there that weren't in my school, and I asked them to back me, but everybody was so afraid of John Gotti, the name Gotti, that they were like, nah, bro, you're on your own. And I had to do this like walk of shame out of the venue. And this little Italian kid, not the Gotti guy for the record, because he's the only person I've named, so in case there's any lawyers involved, this little Italian kid, I want to say Guinea, but that's probably not nice, the little Guinea, he was watching me and like laughing at me, and it was like so demeaning, you know? And anyway, I won't want to take up all the time, but in that year, I then had like another incident of exclusion with my best friends. They literally just turned on me. They had gone to another school, and it just happens, like teenage exclusion. But there was not a word about bullying. There wasn't a word about exclusion. When finally my mother brought it up to the school had me in, and they were like, have you seen how small this kid is? You know, the little Italian kid? Like, as if somehow I should have just dealt with it by, like, knocking him out, you know? And so sometimes I almost get resentful because I failed out of that school. I always joke that it was alcohol that was the reason why I got kicked out of school. It was actually because I failed 4 subjects. And all that stress was definitely part of it, and I'm not making any excuses. But I know that if it was today, that people probably would have said, how can we help you, rather than what's wrong with you? You know, like, why are you screwing up, right? So I love when bullying campaigns come out, because literally from bullying campaigns, I realized I was bullied. I actually didn't even realize until I was like in my 30s.
No way.
I mean, I knew, like, listen, I know something, something bad happened to me. I knew something bad happened to me, but I never kind of went, oh, that's bullying. I never had like a label for it.
Did you kind of blame yourself for it in a way?
I guess you think there's like something wrong with you. And now that I'm, you know, like an adult, some of my friends have kids that are in their teenage years. And sometimes the exclusion happens to those kids, and like your heart goes out to them, but you literally sit there and you go, you know, like, I know you don't realize this, but it's nothing to do with you. It's just teenagers can be horrible sometimes, and you can. Now I can see it. But at the time, it was like heartbreaking. And then, of course, when this opportunity came up to go to Ireland, I was like, yeah, get the hell out of here. And
you literally left the country. Like,
yeah, but I'm glad that I came here, and I'm glad that, you know, because I got kicked out of St. Francis Prep, I've had this life that I've had. But at the same time, it's pretty traumatic. And I'm glad now that there's language and supports for kids when it happens, because I wish I had had that myself.
Yeah, wow.